Hi. Over the past few days, all of us have been under a lockdown. And one of the most critical things that all of us have been thinking is what is going to happen next? Are we going to get into a recession? Is it going to be chaos? What will happen to my business? While there are a lot of negative things which have happened, I'm extremely positive about what's going to happen in India tomorrow. And some of the reasons for them are as follows. Number one, India is definitely going to be affected because today we are part of the global family. Anything which happens across the world will affect India. However, India is in a very good position because we are a consuming economy. We consume most of the things that we produce. Unlike others, where they are dependent primarily on export for their economy. Number one. Number two, tomorrow, when the world recovers from this pandemic, all the importing countries who have been importing most of their materials from China would want to diversify their source of supply. Like any good business people, they would like to put their eggs in different baskets. And India is very well positioned to become one of the baskets of the world in the future. Why do we say that? Because India has the infrastructure, the talent, and the desire to do something. Why am I talking about desire? It's because in our lifetime, people who have been experiencing the 1960s have seen how India, which was a country which did not have enough food for itself, which lived from ship to ship. If the ship carrying food grains did not arrive in time, Indians went hungry. In the 1960s, we invested in agricultural research, we invested in irrigation, we invested in industries, and today India is self-reliant in many of these things, especially in case of food. So just like how we face a crisis where millions of people used to go home, go to bed hungry, we are today a nation which is surplus in food grains. Our food grains reserves are enough for us to feed every single person in India. So in the same way, after the coronavirus pandemic is over, India will be investing a lot of money in making things much better for its people. After the pandemic, the government of India or even the large companies are not going to sit behind and wait for things to happen. Things are going to change. People are going to find out ways of how to bring back the industry back on its feet. And when this happens, when investment is made available to the industry, the government and this investment will finally result in income in the hands of the common man. So obviously the common man is going to look for a better life. Obviously from this experience that we have had, most of the people may not spend money on things which are frivolous in nature, but would consider the long-term implication of any expenditure which they do and would be investing in things which will have long-lasting value. And what is longer-lasting value than everybody owning their own home? So I personally feel that once things stabilize a little bit, the real estate sector, which is today quite under pressure, would be one of the very important industries which would benefit from the resurgence in growth, resurgence in confidence, and the ability to think about the future and the desire to have something which is safe, which will remain forever. So this demand will not only be from within the domestic buyer, but possibly because of the stress that the Western economy is going to go through, we would have a large number of Indians coming back to India with their savings, which in terms of Indian rupees would be very large. And they would be looking for investments in this real estate segment because that's where they would like to stay. So there is going to be demand from the domestic segment. There's going to be demand possibly from the NRI segments which is going to come in. And I feel that as people have experience of living in small houses, they would opt for houses which are slightly bigger. So there would be a demand for a better house, better living conditions, and definitely the real estate segment would benefit from this. Also, important thing would be that we in India have always performed very well whenever we are pushed back to the wall. Whether it is a natural calamity or whether it is a war, we have come together, and I'm sure that this calamity which has come to us, we have not gone to it, it has come to us, will also give us an opportunity to unite as a nation and get out of it in a much, much better way than what many other countries would be able to do. Thank you.